How much sleep do you think you've had since the horn sounded on Thursday night?
Not much until, I guess, the past day or so. I slept pretty good. I'd say this morning anyway, because we're still in the West Coast time zone. Didn't get to sleep much last night. Went to sleep like early this morning and then slept in this afternoon. But we've been going.
Did you stayed in San Francisco?
We stayed in the Bay after the game,
Yep.
and then the families flew home. Some of us, the team anyway, we went to Vegas.
What happened in Vegas?
Stays there. I don't know if you heard that before or not, but Vegas was a good time. And then, there was a group that went to LA after, and a group that came back home. I was one of the guys that wasn't built for that continuance of partying LA scene, so I decided to bring myself home to get a day or so. But I heard LA was nice, Vegas was nice too, but it was good, team, fun, enjoy each other before everybody breaks out and disperses after the parade. I'm sure guys are flying as soon as it's over. Some guys are getting out of town, but to get a couple of days with each other, to enjoy it, I thought it was important and a good time.
You've won a title before.
Mm-hmm.
Some of the guys who come in here and haven't, they almost still can't quite process it. How long maybe does it take to kind of accept that you're a champion and that it's over and you can enjoy it? And
I think the first one anyway, I'd say my first one, as if I won a bunch of them. Just the first one that I won, it took me a while. Probably sunk in a little more when I got the ring the next season, and then sunk in more each year of how hard it was to get back there. So I definitely appreciated it more this time around because I know how hard it was. I was pretty spoiled in San Antonio. I was. We went to a bunch of Western Conference finals. We won a lot. Got to the finals back-to-back years, and I just thought, it's part of the life. It's part of a lot of guys never make it there, and I kind of understood that more as these last 5 years have passed. How hard it was to get there and also get it done. Just being and having a lot of luck on our side, being healthy, the healthiest team at the right time. This was and it probably won't sink in for them. I said until they get the ring, and then probably some years later, especially for the young guys. Pat McCaw, he's got 3 of them. I don't know when it's gonna sink in for him. But if anybody's looking for a good luck charm, it's the guy to sign, I would say.
Danny, following up on that question, you were part of that Spurs team that knocked off the 2-time defending champion of the league,
Mm-hmm.
and now you're part of a Raptors team that knocked off the 2-time defending champion. Warriors, so it's somewhat similar, but what does the weight of that history feel like to you, and can you compare and contrast the experiences at all?
I try not to. I don't like to. It's just different times, different eras, different teams. Obviously, 2 very good, ball clubs, organizations. But just different, times and different generations. Obviously, younger LeBron, younger D Wade, and Golden State. They were banged up. They didn't have a full strength, but they're still a very good, team. Regardless of who's on that floor for them, they make you earn it. And we had to fight and scratch for every, win every possession that we got. Even with Klay and KD out, but you never like to see, you never want to see, guys like that get hurt or be out. You want to play them at their full strength, and I think it'd be interesting and more fun to see, if possible, if we can match up with them at their full strength at some point. And you never know, it might happen again in the future. Hopefully.
Your future, obviously, you're a free agent. You've said a bunch of times you'd like to be back here. How much does Kawhi's situation impact that, and what would you say to him about his free agency? Obviously, you've been his teammate the longest.
There's not much for me to say to him. He's a grown man with kids. I don't have any kids yet, but we're both grown, make our own decisions what's best for him and his family. He's going to consult with his family, his agency, and whoever else he keeps close to him, and make a decision just like I'm going to do the same. But I think his decision impacts, not be foolish here, it impacts a lot of guys' decisions. Because he can change a whole organization, he can change a whole team, he can change a lot of guys' careers or make a lot of guys' careers easier. So that decision weighs on, I think, a lot of other guys' free agency decision. But for me, some weight on his decision, but mine is just, figure out what's the next chapter for me, the best position for me, and this one was a fun one. I liked it here, and I would definitely say love to come back and be here. But you don't know what's in store. Got a couple weeks before free. Luckily, said we took it all the way down the stretch as far as we could to where we don't have to wait too long for free agency. So that makes it easier. But enjoy the parade tomorrow. Sit down, talk with my family, my agent, and figure out the best decisions or situations, and then wait till free agency hits and see who's interested, see what's going on, who wants to bring me where or bring me back, and then figure it out from that standpoint. And then we weigh the options.
Having won a championship or championships before, how different is it when you go into the summer and you're looking for your motivation, like, getting back to that place or winning a ring, like, is the biggest motivation. So when you don't have that, what do you look for?
I think you're still looking for that. I mean, even though we're for me anyway, I think I've been so lucky. This is my second one, so knowing how rare it is and this feeling of being on a high, you kind of crave that again, and you don't want to lose that high. So the motivation for me is to continue to find that again, wherever it may be. Obviously, the best situation for me to be able to play and compete on the highest level, but in a situation where I can continue to win, be successful, and have an opportunity to be in this place again, be in this position again. But I think everybody else, the motivation is to continue to compete at the highest level, continue to win games, and some guys, just provide for their families. They want to continue to, have the best job in the world, doing what they love to do, playing basketball and earning a contract. So I think, a lot of guys going, I want to earn another contract, I want to win. I think all those things come into play. But for me, obviously, I would love to continue to keep playing basketball in the NBA. That's my motivation. Try to continue to keep a roster spot, fool a couple teams to keep me around for a little bit longer, but also to win some games and stay on this high and hopefully never come down.
Didn't get a chance to ask you this during the celebration. What was it like watching the last 11 seconds given the way, the previous possession?
Oh man, it was I was probably most stressed than anybody in the world there. It was a suicide watch. I probably shouldn't say that. But yeah, it was stressful for me. And even Kalo after the game was like, "You all right? You here? You with us? Or what's going on? Let it go. Flush it." I was happy. I was enjoying myself, but I really did thought I cost us the game. In that the final possession on offense. But Mark was great. Jalen was great with keeping me positive. I'm like, no, we're gonna get this stop, man. Don't worry about it. There's not much you can do in that situation. You were caught in a corner. It's a pretty good defender. You did what you could. You gave my outlet at least. You gave me all the positives. It made me feel good about myself. When I knew I screwed it up, it was rough. But hopefully in a couple months, nobody will remember that play. Forget about it forever. And hopefully they can take it off the little ticker. How do you do the little ESPN? What is it that's talking? Play-by-play. Yeah, try to delete that from the play-by-play if we can.
Danny,
Anybody got any pull on that?
Danny, the play when Klay went down.
Mm-hmm.
Just maybe walk through your version of that because it got lost.
Yeah, well,
and I reached out to Klay.
I know I wasn't. I tried my best to. I haven't reached out to him personally, but I did through other various routes. So obviously, I know I wasn't really impacting the game as much offensively as I would like to. I hadn't gotten an attempt up at that point. Even the rest of the game, I didn't. But defensively, I was trying to be as active as I possibly could and getting rebounds, getting steals, deflections, and limiting those guys as much as possible, and not letting their crowd get into it. Try to keep the crowd out of it on the road. And he was going up for a dunk, and I know he could jump, and I thought he was gonna go with one hand, and I didn't think he had a step on. I think we were kind of side by side. We had a pretty good. If he had a step on me, I'd probably be like, all right, I'm probably not gonna get this, but I thought I was ahead of him to where I can get to the ball, and he went up with two hands, and I was like, all right, well, I think it's a little easier for me to get to the ball, with him going up with two hands than one hand. It's hard to find the ball with one hand, but I went up, and I thought I got a piece of it. And I wasn't sure how clean it was. I thought it was pretty clean. And he's strong enough, but he still got the ball to the rim. I was just hoping it wasn't going in, and it came out. And they called the foul. Given in those type of situations how fast it's going, usually they do call fouls as contact with a guy. And he came down funny. I wasn't sure what happened. and I just saw him grab his knee, and he looked like he was in some pain. He's a tough kid though, and you never know how serious it is with him because he just walks through and plays through anything. Guy came back on the court like it was nothing with a torn ACL and shot his free throws. But as soon as he came down, I was just like, damn. And then he was laying there for a while, and then it was more serious than a normal just bump bruise. And you know, the rest of his guys they were making sure that I didn't, you know, I guess take it the wrong way or feel too bad or guilty about it. You know, it was a clean play. They was like, we know you're not dirty, Iggy. Draymond was like, yeah, you want to for the ball. You know, he just came down funny. It's not your fault. Like, don't even, you know, worry about it. We know you're not a dirty player. And I wanted to check on him at the foul line. He was like, yeah, I know you're not. I know you didn't do it purposely. Just, you know, weird play, it happens. So I didn't know the severity of it until after the game. Even after the game, I didn't have my phone, so I couldn't check. And I had spoke with Draymond after the game, and I asked him, is he okay? I told him before we celebrated, I congratulated him on the season, shook their hands, and told him to check on Klay for me, make sure he's good. And then I saw him in the hallway after. He said, his ACL. Then I was like, oh, you know, it's going to be a long summer for not just him, but their team. But, you know, it's a tough fall for both of them. He said, regardless of how much you want to win and compete, and you love to beat the best, you never want to see those guys go down and go down that way. Because they're special players and they have, you know, great careers, and you don't want to see their careers change or be hindered or be over because of certain types of plays or injuries, especially the ones that you're involved in.
Thank you.
Danny, talk about Toronto. What do you expect the parade to be like tomorrow?
I expect it to be ridiculously crazy, given the fact of what the videos I've seen, being on the road, seeing how they celebrated our wins in the past, even in the Eastern Conference Finals. You know, jumping on fire trucks, street lamps, tearing up the city. So I'm expecting the fans to be, you know, out of their minds tomorrow, but you know, hopefully safely and, you know, enjoying themselves. Should be a good time though. Should be have a good, safe, fun parade.